I'm Steve Kramer. I'm Chi Alpha Director at the University of Oregon, and we basically want to reach the university, impact the world. We kind of function in a way like a local church on campus. We have a weekly service on Thursday evenings. Then we have small groups through the week. We have one-on-one discipleship of small group leaders and missions trips, weekly outreaches, international ministry, great international ministry at University of Oregon. So really, Julie and my passion, we were missionaries in the Netherlands for 10 years, and our passion has always been the same. We want to raise up missionaries and for the laborers in the harvest. And so, we're in Eugene, Oregon. If you don't know, go Ducks. So to put that in there.
You always
can't say go Rams. They'll slap me.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, wow. I think from a young age, I being born with cerebral palsy and spending a lot of time in the hospital, and we also moved a lot as a family. It really was an example of God using something that many people would see as a negative, and that moving all the time, I had to constantly make new friends. I had to constantly kind of put myself out there and talk, and I talked a lot. I just talked a lot. I don't even know if I talked well, but I just talked a lot. And over time, and I think the baptism of the Holy Spirit was a big key for me too, and giving me courage, because I was just telling somebody earlier that when I was in fine arts, my categories were poetry and creative writing, because I was too scared. I'm still scared. I speak tonight. I'm still nervous. It's funny, God works in your weakness, but I just love talking, and God began to kind of craft that. And then He used sportscasting, my love for sports, to really make me a better communicator. And I was a disc jockey in high school. In college, I worked interviewing Seahawks and Mariners, and I thought I was going to be a sportscaster. And then God began to renew a call in my life to missions. And so He kind of, I don't want to say trick in a bad way, but He kind of tricked me to work on being a better communicator. Included in that is writing and things, but to be a better communicator, to present the gospel. And I think just passion, just passion for life and for people, and be able to, I love this. There's nothing better than to see somebody empowered in my book. This girl doing this charcoal artist, man, I thought, man, that's so amazing, and I really want to see her get to be on a bigger stage that God can use her. And so that's the weird kind of paradox, is I almost would rather be in the balcony tonight, but God has given me a platform, and so trying to be faithful to it. And I think people would be surprised at that, because I do love people, but I really would rather kind of see other people shine. So God used all that, the good, the bad, and the ugly, like Tom was saying. No offense about the ugly part.
Oh, I take it.
He uses it all.
Baldness.
Hey, they didn't have to know that. It's a podcast. Come on. Yeah, that's a great question about how do you continue to develop your, giftings. And I think it's going to sound maybe super spiritual, but I really think that the more just investing in my relationship with the Lord, and John 15, talking about being connected to the vine and letting Him just flow through you, and actually just trying to get out of the way. A lot of times it's just trying to get out of the way. I think you have those skills and things, but God will use those things as He sees fit. But really, it's just the connectedness with Him and the intimacy, and out of that flows ministry. And that's been something that as I get older, I realize even more and more, because the ability to influence people, when we're younger, is we're cool, we have good hair, like you said, Sean Silveri. I wish I had his hair, and that's a great season of ministry. But as you get older, if you don't have that intimacy with God, you don't really have anything to offer anybody. And a few weeks ago, I was driving to meet some athletes at the University of Oregon in a Bible study, and I was feeling kind of down, like, man, I don't have anything to offer these guys. I'm not an athlete. And Jesus just reminded me, it's all about connectedness, intimacy with God, and that's something they need to see, a living presence of Jesus in their life. And so, and I'm just saying this because we're on a podcast, but I really sense that from you guys, man. I'm like, yes, that's awesome. awesome. I can feel the Holy Spirit here.
Yeah.
So, I wish I would have spent more time as a youngster, so to speak, investing in that relationship with God rather than trying to hone my speaking skills or what I thought I was good at or could be good at. But, that's what you learn in life. So one other thing I want to add, and I don't want to get into my message tonight, but what I'll be touching on a little bit is, I would really encourage people to spend more time working on their inner life than their outside giftings, and let God take care of that, because it's something, people are so hungry to be charismatic, for example, and be a personable person. But it really comes from developing that relationship with God and that inner confidence that He's called you, that no matter what you face in life, you can overcome it. And that's what I heard it once said, that he who has hope has the influence. And I just think that if you work that inner life, what these guys are talking about building that relationship with God, that history with God, you'll find that you're a person of hope, and that'll have influence, and it'll get you where your gifts will never get you, just having hope. And